This needs no introduction. This is the 2025 Mercedes-Benz V300 diesel, and yeah, no, the only family car you need. So, as always, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about it, from pricing, features, to cost of ownership. So, keep it locked and let's go. So, getting right into the styling, as you can see, you get new LED headlamps, which look really cool. They've got the matrix LED technology within them. You also get these new signature daytime running lights, which are absolutely amazing. You get this new grille with the three-pointed star over there. Of course, you need to remind everyone that you are driving a very special Mercedes-Benz. The grille lights up at night, which looks absolutely amazing. And overall, I think the front end has been improved rather nicely. I've gotten many compliments from people all over about this car and just how it looks. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like it? Or do you like it? But anyway, moving along, you also get these new Maybach inspired alloy wheels. I'm not sure how I feel. They are very controversial, but I am leaning more towards liking them. They really do give this car a lot of presence. They really, yeah, no, it looks presidential. I mean, yeah, people wouldn't be mistaken for thinking that I might be a Cyril Ramaphosa or something, who knows. But anyway, as always, it is the V-Class, so of course you get the sliding doors, which is what we have come used to. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it from the front, but I'm gonna turn the car around and show you guys what has changed at the back. So one thing before I do get to the back, these windows, as you can remember on the previous model V-Class, they used to tilt or just open up slightly, but that has been gotten rid of in this new model. And I'm not sure I'm a fan of that, because for passengers in the rear seats, it was quite nice to be able to open this window slightly, get a bit of ventilation into the car. But hey, we're here now. But moving over to the back, we get these new LED tail lamps, which are clear. I really do like them. And over here you get Mercedes-Benz badging there. Everything else is still pretty much the same. You get V300 badging over there, and you get this little potty trick where you can open this door, and essentially this reveals some niceties as well. So in here, Mercedes-Benz is kind enough to give you these crates, which you can use if you want to go shopping or put whatever you want to put in there. So that's quite cool. And then you can just chuck them away back in there. You get two of them, so that's quite nice. So that folds away nicely. And then if you close this bad boy and you open up the boot, it reveals a large boot. And as you can see, the boot is quite big. Another party trick is you can lift up this entire piece with this over here. And this is essentially for you to be able to load up the boot with all your luggage, all your groceries, whatever you're going to be storing in the car, really. And I think this V-Class is really spacious here in the back. I mean, it's the perfect road trip car. Can load up everyone's luggage standing up straight or laying flat. So I think from a practicality point of view, that is quite cool. You also get these tie-down hooks on either end, and you get a 12-volt socket over there. How practical. Who said a V-Class is not a great family car? So, jumping into the rear seats, which is where you probably want to be, it is a very nice place to be. I'm going to start by closing the door so that we can keep the outside world away. But you are greeted by this lovely table over here behind the driver's seat. It is covered in leather, which is quite nice, so you can get a bit of work done while you're traveling to wherever you're going. If not, you can stow that away very nicely, and you can bring up this other party trick, which reveals, whoops, another table. Okay, well, I'm not seated very comfortably, but this is essentially a tray table where you can put more stuff. You've got cup holders over here, you've got some storage over here, or you can just stow that away completely and just enjoy the drive. So these specific seats here behind the driver, they are cooled and heated, which is absolutely amazing. And over here at the top, you've got your climate control settings for the rear, which was also nice. You've got some air vents over here. Fluorescent light over here, which I'm not a fan of. It could have been LED. You've got a hook over here if you want to hang maybe your jackets or whatever. And you do have a grab handle, which makes it easier for you to get in and out of the car. As you can see, you can, yeah, I've got loads of leg room. Don't even talk about headroom. I've got acres of that. And overall, it really is comfortable here. And I mean, I've even got my own armrest over here and over here. So a drive down to Durban wouldn't be bad. But overall, I really am impressed with the back, and I think specifically with the seats facing forward, you do get a lot of room, both in this row as well as the row at the back as well. Whereas if the seats, which you can turn around to face each other with the rear seats, the outer rear seats, the legroom does get a bit cramped. So I think that's definitely something to keep in mind. Me personally, I do like this quite a lot, and my passengers have also liked it quite a lot. You also get this wooden trim over here on the seat, which is quite nice. You get some ambient lighting over here, which is also quite cool. And over here in the doors, you get a Burmeister surround sound system, which sounds absolutely amazing. Again, who said a V-Class is not the perfect family car? So, moving over to the front, I think this is probably where the most changes have been made. In front of the driver, you get a brand new steering wheel. It is touch capacitive, but most Mercedes for quite a number of years have had this now, so this shouldn't even be a faff anymore. So this controls, obviously, the left-hand side controls your instrument cluster in front of the driver, and then the right-hand side controls that over there. Everything is really easy to use. The screen itself over here is crisp, it's bright, it's very quick to touch inputs, and it's highly customizable, which I really do like. Over here, as I said, this is all new, all of this over here. So you get the infotainment screen over here as well. It is older Mercedes-Benz infotainment, but the software itself has been updated to the latest, but the screen itself is something we have seen for quite a number of years. But given how dated the V-Class was starting to look, I do appreciate this quite a lot. You've got new air vent controls over here, or vents, and obviously you get these over here, physical climate control buttons. Over here, you also get controls for the doors, the rear doors, which can control electronically, and you get one of my favorite touch pads to essentially interact with the infotainment screen. I used to love this so much in some of the older Mercedes-Benz models, and I'm glad that they've brought it in here. So obviously it's a big mouse pad which you can control like so with your finger. You've got a physical volume button over there, or volume rocker rather. You've got the dynamic select control over there. So you've got sport, comfort, and manual driving modes, and you've got some of your other vehicle functions over there. Overall, I think the improvements made here are really, really, really nice. My favorite one, or one of my favorite ones, is the rear view camera, which if you flip the button over there, it can reveal a camera feed from the rear of the car, which is quite cool. It's quite bright and it works really well even in the nighttime. Overall, a V-Class is a V-Class. I mean, there's really not much to complain about in this car. So I can understand why so many people buy these. I mean, Mercedes-Benz really struggles to keep up with demand, and I really love it for them, because why? Like, I mean, this is an amazing car, you know? But anyway, you get heated and cooled seats for the front row, electrically adjustable, of course, and memory function as well, which is quite cool. Let's go for a drive. So, thanks to the power of video editing, we are now in a new day and we are going for a drive. So, we have spoken about much of what the car has in terms of features and so forth, but now getting into the drive bit of the review. So, under the bonnet up front, you get a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine. It is the same engine from the pre-facelift model. It still uses 174 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of torque, which I feel is plenty enough for this car, or this bus rather. I really do feel that paired to the automatic transmission that is in this car, it is so seamless. I mean, it drives really comfortably, it pulls quite well. Even when it's filled up with passengers, it still pulls quite nicely, so you don't really feel like it suffers or anything like that, which is the last thing that you want from obviously a people carrier like this, a luxurious people carrier that is. So furthermore, you've obviously got the suspension, which is, in my opinion, decently comfortable. And what I mean by that is, obviously you do feel some of the harder road imperfections, but for the most part, I think it is quite a comfortable ride. Whether you're sat in the driver's seat or whether you're sat in the rear as a passenger, I think the comfort levels are quite commendable. One thing that I absolutely despise completely, and this is an issue that I also had in the pre-facelifted model, was this rear door behind the driver creaks and eeks and moans like nobody's business. Like, with no music playing or anything and you're just sitting quietly in the car, it is so annoying. And for me personally, because it's right behind me and I just don't understand why. And even opening and closing the door makes such a really, really, unpleasant noise. And for me, that is such a, yeah, it's really not it. Like, this car has 10,000 kilometers on the clock. It shouldn't be making those kinds of noises at all. So for me, and like I'm saying, this was an issue on the pre-facelifted model, and it's still an issue now. And I'm really disappointed that Mercedes hasn't corrected that. My gosh. But anyway, driving position wise, I absolutely love this driving position. I mean, you sit really nice and high up. The front, the windscreen is really massive, so you've got good visibility. The windows, the driver and passenger windows are really, really big, so that is really quite nice. I really am a fan of that. You've also got some technology and safety features such as adaptive cruise control, which is really great. You've got rear collision, emergency braking. So essentially, if you're reversing and the car detects that you're about to bump something, it'll slam the brakes. I found it to be a bit way too intrusive. I mean, there's been instances where there would be absolutely nothing too close to my rear, but the car would just slam the brakes, and it's really unpleasant, especially when you're with passengers and you just don't expect it to do that. Another thing is, I was reversing out of a driveway the other day, which is quite steep, but the car seemed to think that I was going to be crashing into something. And let me tell you, the car just wouldn't move. So the car was in reverse. It wasn't in handbrake or anything. The handbrake wasn't on, and the car just wouldn't move. Like, it simply wouldn't move. And I literally had to wait it out. Like, I had to wait it out. So those are some of the things that I just found to be quite annoying. But overall, I think it is a really good package. I mean, like I said, it's a really luxurious people mover, and it doesn't really get better than this, to be honest. Competition, there is no competition, to be honest. So the V-Class does, or the V300d does find itself in a rather unique position where it's in a league of its own, which is quite cool for them. So from a price perspective, this V300d model that I'm testing will set you back from just over 2.2 million rand. And like I said, there's no competition. So don't even walk to the dealership to go and get one. Run to the dealership, because like I said, this car just doesn't get better than this. It just doesn't. So this is how much you can expect to pay on a monthly basis for your V300 diesel. And don't forget to check out the link in my bio for an insurance quote from Naked Insurance. The nice thing is that you can get a quote in literally about 90 seconds, and the process is really nice and seamless. So go on and check them out. But anyway, that is it from me and this V300 diesel. This is one of my favorite cars, in case you guys didn't know. And as always, I have enjoyed spending time with this car. I've spent time with it before in the past, and I was really impressed, and I did really enjoy it, despite those few niggles that I mentioned. That is still the case even today. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.